The heartbreaking truth. When a woman loves a man, she often loves him with her entire heart, her soul, and her every breath. She gives him the best parts of herself, her time, her energy, her patience, her understanding, and her loyalty. She stands by his side through the storms, supports his dreams, and believes in him even when he doesn't believe in himself. But sometimes, despite her unwavering love, she finds herself facing the deepest hurt imaginable. The hurt that comes not from a stranger, but from the very man she loves the most. She asks herself the same painful question that millions of women before her have asked. Why does he hurt me when I've done nothing but love him? This question keeps her up at night, tears streaming down her face, heart heavy with confusion. The pain is sharp and it feels like betrayal, because it is betrayal. Of trust, of loyalty, of the love she's poured out so selflessly. But here's the truth that every woman needs to hear. His hurtful actions are not a reflection of your worth. His words, his anger, his neglect, his betrayal, none of these are evidence that you are unworthy of love. None of them prove that you are too much, too needy, or not enough. The truth is, sometimes men hurt the women who love them because of wounds they carry that have nothing to do with you at all. Many men carry deep, unhealed pain from their past. They've been taught to hide their emotions, to bury their feelings, to act tough. They've learned that vulnerability is a weakness and that being the man means being strong, stoic, and sometimes even cold. So when a woman comes into their life offering pure, unconditional love, it terrifies them. They don't know how to handle the depth of it, the softness, the honesty. Instead of facing their fears, they build walls. They push you away. They hurt you with their words or their silence, sometimes even with betrayal or neglect. They try to control the relationship because they can't control their own feelings. They act out of fear, insecurity, or ego, not because of who you are, but because of who they are not ready to become. It's important to remember that their pain is not your burden to carry. Their choices are not your responsibility to fix. And most importantly, their hurtful actions are never a reflection of your value. You are worthy of love that is kind, that is safe, that is steady. So if you find yourself wondering why he hurts you when you've done nothing but love him, remember this. It's not because you're unworthy, it's because he's unready. And you have every right to protect your heart, to walk away if you must, and to choose a love that honors the incredible woman that you are. The fear of vulnerability. For many men, vulnerability is a foreign language they were never taught to speak. From an early age, boys are often told to be tough, to man up, to never cry. They are taught that showing emotion is a sign of weakness, that needing someone is a flaw, and that real men are strong, silent, and invincible. This cultural conditioning shapes them into men who believe that walls protect them, walls that keep their emotions hidden and their hearts guarded. So when a woman enters their life with a love so deep, so open, so raw, it feels like standing at the edge of a cliff. She sees the parts of him he's hidden from the world. She notices his doubts, his fears, his insecurities, and instead of running, she stays, she listens, she loves him anyway. For many men, this is both beautiful and terrifying, because to be loved so fully means to be seen so fully, and being seen means they might get hurt. Love has the power to expose the deepest corners of a man's soul, the places he's spent years hiding even from himself. And when those places are revealed, fear takes over. Fear that he's not good enough. Fear that he'll mess up. Fear that she'll leave him the moment she sees the real him. These fears create a panic inside, and instead of leaning into the love, he pushes it away. He lashes out. He withdraws. He builds a wall of silence and confusion. It's not because he doesn't care. It's because he doesn't know how to let himself be cared for. Vulnerability feels like a threat to his sense of masculinity. It feels like giving up control, something he's been taught never to do. So he keeps you at arm's length, even when you've shown him that your love is real. He might criticize you, pick fights, or withdraw completely. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because he's terrified of what it means to be truly loved. But here's what you must remember. His fear of vulnerability is not your burden to carry. You are not responsible for teaching a grown man how to handle his emotions. You are not his therapist, his savior, or his emotional crutch. You are a woman who deserves a love that is fearless, open, and honest. You deserve a man who is willing to face his fears instead of taking them out on you. So if you find yourself wondering why he hurts you when you've given him nothing but love, understand this. He's not hurting you because you're too loving. He's hurting you because he doesn't know how to accept that love. And that is his work to do, not yours. You have every right to protect your peace and demand a love that doesn't hide behind walls. Because real love is brave, and it's time you choose a love that's ready to meet you where you are, with an open heart and open arms. The battle within him. When a man hurts the woman who loves him, it's often because he's fighting a war inside himself. A battle between who he wants to be and the fears that hold him back. This inner conflict isn't always visible on the surface. To the outside world, he might seem strong, confident, and in control. But behind closed doors, he struggles with self-doubt, insecurities, and pain that he's never learned to process. Every harsh word he speaks, every time he withdraws, every time he betrays your trust, it all comes from a place of unresolved pain. He might not even understand why he does it. It's like he's on autopilot, reacting to triggers he doesn't recognize. Maybe he grew up in a home where love was conditional, where he was taught that emotions are dangerous. Maybe he was let down by people he trusted. Maybe he's been hurt so many times that he's built an armor around his heart to keep himself safe. But that armor doesn't just keep his pain out, it keeps love out too. And when you come into his life, offering a love so real, so genuine, he doesn't know how to let it in. He wants to, but every time he starts to let his guard down, fear takes over. Fear of getting hurt again, fear of losing control, fear of being abandoned. And so, instead of embracing the love you give, he sabotages it. He pushes you away with his words or his silence. He tests you even when you've proven yourself time and time again. He might even cheat or lie, not because he doesn't care, but because he's scared of being fully seen. You see, when a woman loves a man deeply, she sees parts of him that no one else sees. She sees his potential, his goodness, his strength. She sees the man he could be if he let himself be vulnerable. But that's a terrifying thing for a man who's been conditioned to hide his feelings. So he runs from it. He tries to control it. He hurts you as a way of keeping himself safe. But here's the hard truth. His battle is his to fight. You cannot save a man from himself. You cannot heal the wounds he refuses to face. You can't love him enough to make his pain disappear. Only he can do that. And you need to remember that your worth is not measured by how much pain you can endure in the name of love. You are not a casualty of his inner war. You are a woman who deserves to be loved, without condition, without fear, without betrayal. So, if you find yourself asking, why does he hurt me? Know this. It's not because you're not enough. It's because he's fighting a battle he's not yet ready to win. And you have every right to choose peace over pain, to choose yourself over his war. With the pattern of control. One of the most overlooked reasons men hurt the women who love them is control. For some men, control feels like safety. It's a way to manage their own insecurities and fears of abandonment. When they feel powerless in other areas of their life, at work, with family, with their own sense of self-worth, they look for ways to regain that power. Unfortunately, the easiest place to exert control is often in their relationships. Control doesn't always look like outright aggression. Sometimes it's subtle, a critical remark here, a dismissive tone there. Sometimes it's more overt, deciding who you can spend time with, how you should dress, or what you should do. He might tell you that he knows what's best for you, that he's only trying to protect you, or that you're too emotional to make decisions on your own. These tactics are all designed to keep you small, to make you doubt yourself, and to ensure that he maintains the upper hand. When a woman loves deeply, she often tries to understand his perspective. She thinks maybe he's just stressed, or maybe he's hurting too. She makes excuses for his behavior because she loves him, and she wants to believe that he means well. But the truth is that love should never make you feel less than. It should never strip away your confidence, your voice, or your sense of self. Control is not love. Control is fear masquerading as love. It's his fear of losing you, of losing himself, of being vulnerable, and instead of facing those fears head-on, he tries to manage them by managing you. He tries to shape you into the version of yourself that makes him feel safest, a version that never challenges him, never questions him, never threatens his fragile sense of power. But here's what every woman must remember. Real love is freedom. Real love allows you to be your full, authentic self. It encourages you to grow, to shine, to step into your power. Real love lifts you up. It doesn't hold you down. When a man hurts the woman who loves him by trying to control her, he's revealing his own weakness, not hers. It's a reflection of his inability to handle the strength of a woman who knows her worth, and it's a sign that he's not ready for the kind of love that demands equality, respect, and partnership. If you're in a relationship where you constantly feel like you have to shrink to make him feel big, it's time to ask yourself, is this really love, or is this control? Because no matter how much you love him, you cannot and should not give up your power just to make him feel secure. You deserve a love that cherishes you for who you are, that respects your boundaries, and that never seeks to dim your light. Remember, you are not here to be controlled, you are here to be loved, fully and freely. The fear of intimacy. Let's talk about intimacy. True intimacy isn't just about physical closeness, it's about emotional connection, vulnerability, and letting someone see the real you. For many men, especially those who were never taught how to process or express their emotions, the idea of true intimacy is terrifying. They might crave it on one level, but when it's actually offered to them, when a woman truly sees them, flaws or all, they freeze or pull away. A man might think he wants a deep relationship, but the moment he feels truly seen, he panics. That's because intimacy requires dropping the mask he's worn his whole life. It means admitting he's not perfect, that he has fears and wounds he can't hide, and for many men that feels like weakness. It's not that he doesn't care about you, or that he doesn't value what you bring into his life. It's that he's terrified of exposing himself to the kind of love that demands honesty and openness. When a woman loves deeply, she offers her heart fully. She shares her dreams, her fears, her joys, her pain. She lets him in, trusting that he'll do the same. But instead of stepping into that safe space she's created, he might retreat. He might shut down emotionally, avoid deep conversations, or even pick fights over trivial things. Why? Because real intimacy challenges his identity. It forces him to question the stories he's told himself about what it means to be a man. For some men, they'd rather sabotage the relationship than face the discomfort of true closeness. They'd rather hurt you than admit that they're afraid of being hurt themselves. They'd rather push you away than risk being abandoned by you. It's a defense mechanism, a way of protecting themselves from the very thing they claim to want: love. But here's the truth. Intimacy is a two-way street. It's not just about you showing up with your heart open, it's about him being willing to do the same. And if he's not ready to meet you there, no amount of love or patience on your part can force him to cross that bridge. It's important to understand that his inability to embrace intimacy is not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of his own fear and his unwillingness to grow. You cannot build a deep, lasting relationship with someone who keeps you at arm's length. You cannot force someone to open up when they're not ready. Remember, you deserve a love that welcomes you in, not one that locks you out. You deserve someone who's willing to do the hard work of intimacy, who's brave enough to be vulnerable, to let you see him fully and to see you fully in return. Don't settle for a relationship where you're the only one doing the emotional heavy lifting. Love is a partnership, and it requires both people to show up, heart, mind, and soul. If he's not ready, that's his journey, not your burden. The influence of past wounds. Another powerful reason why men hurt the women who loved them lies buried deep in their past. Old wounds and unresolved pain from previous experiences. These wounds might come from childhood, past relationships, or moments of betrayal that left scars on their heart. Often, these unhealed hurts shape how they behave in their current relationships without them even realizing it. When a man carries the weight of past trauma, whether it's abandonment, rejection, or betrayal, it can distort his view of love. Instead of seeing love as a safe, healing space, he might see it as something dangerous, something that could cause pain again. This fear causes him to act defensively, sometimes by lashing out or pushing away the very person who wants to love him most. Imagine walking around every day with a backpack full of heavy stones. You can't run freely, you can't fully open your heart, and you're always on edge. That's what past wounds do. They burden a man emotionally, cloud his judgment, and make it difficult for him to trust fully. So when a woman steps in with genuine care and love, instead of embracing it, he might push it away out of fear of being hurt once more. Because of these deep-seated wounds, men sometimes create emotional barriers. They might avoid intimacy, question their partner's motives, or act suspicious and jealous. These behaviors are not signs of how much they love, but signs of how scared they are of being hurt again. Unfortunately, their fear translates into actions that hurt the women who love them. But here's an important truth. A man's past does not have to dictate his future. Healing is possible, but it requires awareness, effort, and a willingness to confront those old pains. It's not your job to fix his past, but if he's truly committed, he can work through his wounds with the right support, whether through therapy, self-reflection, or honest conversations. As a woman, you deserve a partner who is willing to do the hard work of healing. You deserve to be loved by someone who has made peace with his past and is ready to show up fully in the present. Love should never feel like walking on eggshells or like you are carrying the weight of his old hurts. Remember this, his inability to love you well is often rooted in his unresolved pain, but it is never your fault. You are not the cause of his scars, nor are you responsible for healing them. Your role is to protect your heart and demand a love that honors you and uplifts you. If you find yourself trapped in a cycle of hurt, take a step back and ask, is he willing to face his past and grow? Or is he letting his wounds control how he treats you? Because true love requires two healed hearts meeting, not one heart trying to save another. You deserve healing. Love that nurtures, supports, and strengthens. And if he's not ready to give that, it's okay for you to choose yourself first. The struggle with communication. A major reason men hurt the women who love them is because of the struggle to communicate effectively. Many men grow up in environments where expressing feelings is seen as a sign of weakness. From a young age, they may have been taught to man up, to keep their emotions bottled inside, or to avoid difficult conversations altogether. This conditioning creates a barrier that makes honest, open communication challenging. And when communication breaks down, pain often follows. When a man cannot express what's really going on inside, frustration builds. Instead of talking through his fears, frustrations, or insecurities, he might lash out, become distant, or shut down completely. This isn't a reflection of his love or lack of love, but a sign that he's overwhelmed by emotions he doesn't know how to handle or share. Women who love deeply often crave connection through conversation, wanting to understand what's going on beneath the surface. But when the man they love avoids those conversations or responds with anger or silence, it can feel like rejection. It can make a woman question her worth or wonder if she's done something wrong. Yet, the problem rarely lies with her, it lies in his inability or unwillingness to communicate his inner world. Communication isn't just about talking, it's about listening, vulnerability, and trust. For a man struggling to express himself, these things can feel risky. He fears being judged, misunderstood, or rejected. So instead of risking vulnerability, he resorts to behaviors that push you away or cause harm, sometimes without even realizing the impact of his words or actions. But healing this dynamic is possible when both partners commit to better communication. It starts with patience and understanding. It means creating a safe space where he feels he can share without fear. It means encouraging him to open up slowly, reassuring him that his feelings matter and are valid. And it means being willing to listen, not just to respond, but to truly hear. At the same time, it's essential for you to protect your emotional well-being. Loving someone who struggles to communicate can be exhausting and painful. You deserve respect, honesty, and kindness in your relationship. If his communication or lack of it is hurting you, it's okay to set boundaries and demand change. A healthy relationship requires effort from both sides. Remember this, hurtful words or silence do not define your worth. His inability to communicate doesn't mean you're unlovable or that your love is not enough. It means he has work to do on himself. And you have the right to expect a partner who values and respects you enough to communicate openly. True love grows when hearts connect through honesty and vulnerability. Don't settle for less than a relationship where communication builds trust, healing, and deeper connection. You deserve a love that speaks kindly, listens deeply, and grows stronger every day, choosing your worth and moving forward. As we reach this final part of our journey, it's essential to focus on you, your worth, your healing, and your future. Understanding why men sometimes hurt the women who love them is painful, but it's also empowering. It gives you clarity. It helps you see the patterns, recognize the signs, and most importantly, reclaim your power. You deserve a love that uplifts you, not tears you down. You deserve a partner who respects your heart, honors your boundaries, and cherishes your soul. But that love starts with how you see yourself. When you truly know your worth, you refuse to accept anything less than respect and kindness. You stop tolerating pain disguised as love. Choosing your worth means setting clear boundaries. It means saying, I will not be hurt to make someone else comfortable. It means walking away from relationships where love feels like a battlefield instead of a sanctuary. This choice is not about giving up on love. It's about refusing to settle for a love that damages you. Healing is part of this journey. It's okay to feel broken at times. It's okay to grieve what you hoped love would be. But healing means learning from those hurts and growing stronger. It means forgiving, not for their sake, but for your peace. It means releasing resentment so your heart has room to breathe and love again. Moving forward doesn't mean forgetting or ignoring what happened. It means carrying those lessons with you as armor, not chains. It means using your past pain as fuel to build a future where you are valued beyond measure. Remember, the right person will never hurt you. They will protect your heart as fiercely as you do. You are not defined by the pain others have caused you. You are defined by your resilience, your courage, and your capacity to love. Even when it's hard, you have the strength to rise above hurt and claim the joyful, fulfilling love you deserve. As you move forward, surround yourself with people who see your worth and celebrate your growth. Seek friendships and relationships that encourage your light to shine brighter. Invest in yourself, your dreams, your passions, your happiness. Because the foundation for any healthy love is a strong, confident, and whole you. Remember this truth. You are worthy of love that heals, supports, and elevates you. Never settle for less. Let go of what no longer serves you and open your heart to the love that is ready to meet you where you are, with respect, kindness, and true partnership. Your journey to love begins with you, your choices, your healing, your courage. Choose yourself. Love yourself. And watch how the right love finds its way to you, transforming your world in ways you never imagined. As we come to the end of this journey, it's important to pause and reflect on what we've uncovered together. The question, why do men hurt the women who love them, is complex and deeply emotional. It touches on fears, wounds, communication struggles, and the intricate ways people protect themselves, even when it means causing pain to those they care about most. But more than anything, it's a question about love and what it truly means to be loved in return. Understanding these reasons isn't about making excuses for hurtful behavior or accepting less than you deserve. It's about gaining clarity. Clarity that empowers you to make better choices for your heart and your life. When you understand that sometimes men hurt because of their own fears, past pain, or inability to communicate, you stop taking it personally. You start to see that their actions are reflections of their own struggles, not your worth or value. This realization is the first step toward healing. Healing isn't easy. It requires courage to face the pain honestly, to forgive, not for them but for yourself, and to rebuild your life with the lessons you've learned. Healing means choosing yourself when others fail to choose you. It means refusing to stay in a relationship where you are not cherished, where your love is met with pain instead of respect. You are deserving of a love that feels like home, a love that is patient, kind, and strong enough to weather life's storms. True love does not hurt. True love builds you up. It does not tear you down. It invites vulnerability and rewards honesty. It listens with compassion and communicates with respect. If you have experienced hurt, remember that it is not a reflection of your worth, but a call to seek something better. Moving forward, empower yourself with boundaries that protect your heart. Surround yourself with people who uplift and support you. Invest in your growth, your passions, and your dreams. The journey to finding the love you deserve begins with loving yourself fiercely and unconditionally. Never forget this. You are powerful beyond measure. You have survived pain, grown through challenges, and learned what it means to love bravely. This strength will guide you to a future where love is not a source of pain, but a source of joy, peace, and partnership. As you continue on your path, remember to be patient with yourself. Healing takes time, growth takes courage, and the right love will come, not because you chase it, but because you have prepared your heart to receive it fully. So stand tall, beautiful soul. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that the hurt you've endured does not define you. Your resilience does. Keep your heart open, your spirit strong, and your vision clear. The love you seek is seeking you too. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for choosing yourself. You are worthy, you are enough, and the best is yet to come.